opening statement, then we'll take questions. So please queue up in the chat for questions. Thanks.
Well, I think before we get started with anything about the game, it's just unbelievable to be back playing. And so many people have worked so hard, not just in our conference, but our university. The players have persevered through so much that there'll be some good books come out someday about all of this past 8 months. But we've had 32, 33 practices total, and it was nice to see a different uniform and a different jersey, and very good A&T team, which we played last year. And you're always curious how your freshmen are going to play. You're going to, how you guard, what you get exposed to, and lo and behold, we get off to a really good start because of a freshman. And thought Adam was tremendous early, and then I thought our defense in the first half was really solid. We contested shots at a very high level. It's one thing we've been talking about a lot. I thought we held them to one shot. And then I think we were really, really explosive in transition. And that's one of the things that we like to do is get out and score and run. And for the most part, even in the half court, then our shot selection was very, very solid. So I was very pleased with the first half. And then as we got into the second half, we continued that pace and that tempo, and we're able to establish Kofi a little bit to start the second half. But all in all, good opener. Freshmen got their feet wet, got a lot of experience, and now we get to go do this again tomorrow and against a new opponent who will throw something different at us, and we're excited for that challenge.
Okay, we'll start with Jim Cotter, Jeremy Werner, you're on deck, and Scott Ritchie in the hole. Jim, we can't hear you. We'll come back to you, Jim. We'll come back to you, Jim. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hey, Brad. 17 threes is a program record for a team that only made 11 for a tie last year. Obviously, Adam brings a lot of shooting. Io's improved. And then you had DeMonte continuing it, Jacob Grandison. Did you see this in practice? Like, how much improved do you think the shooting is? How much do you think this game was, like, legit for what you guys can be?
Well, we were a better shooting team, Jeremy, than we were a year ago. And, I think maybe it was just a combination of the new line, the arc being moved back. I think it was, we know Trent's, been an elite shooter. Io's been a really good shooter throughout his career, and both those guys struggled a little bit. But, we set out to change that in recruiting. Obviously, Adam's an elite shooter. Jacob Grandison is a guy that can really shoot it, as does Curbelo and Coleman Hawkins. And so I think we're going to be a really good shooting team, and I think that's one of the strengths of our team. And today was evident that we shot it, but we got really good shots, and that was something I was proud of. But 17 threes, and Adam gets his career off with a 6 for 8 night is pretty impressive. So tomorrow's a new day, and we'll see if that ball goes in again.
Obviously, Adam originally didn't know if Iowa would be here, probably thought he'd be gone. But how much better can Iowa make him on the court and off the court?
Well, Iowa's a great distributor as well as he is scorer. And, in the open court, Iowa's one of the elite players in college basketball. We saw that today. And, I've told Adam he can simplify the game for himself and just get his feet wet by just running the floor hard, and he'll get a lot of open shots, and that proved to be the case today. So, as teams load up on Io, and they load up on Kofi or Georgie, and ball screen actions rolling to the rim, it gets very hard to tag off them. When DeMonte's doing that, when Adam does that, those guys are going to get some good looks. So again, Io does what a really good player does, and that's make his teammates better. And Adam will benefit from that.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, we'll go with Scott Ritchie, Joey Wagner, and then we'll go back and try Jim. So go ahead, Scott.
Hey, Brad, I guess with the shooting, you feel like you can run better offense when shots are falling like that, or did you get shots to good looks because you were running better offense?
Scott, can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure. Brad, do you feel like the shooting allows you to run better offense, or were you getting the open looks because you're already running good offense to begin with?
Yeah, it's a combination of both. I think one of the things that we've had problems with in the past here is we've always been a team that we've had one or two guys that maybe haven't made shots at a clip that deserve a whole bunch of attention. So, running offense has been a constant movement of players and a myriad of different sets and actions to get guys open so we could create a gap. And when you shoot the ball better, offense becomes easier, and shots have a tendency to go in when you execute. And so I think it's a combination of both. And today was a day that I don't want to say our execution was great, but we did get good shots. And they played a lot of zone, and the ball got inside and out. And when you do those things and the ball zips and you're unselfish, you play in a good rhythm, and that's what we did today.
Defensively, maybe for that essentially 9-minute stretch in the first half where you held them scoreless, what did you like most about what you guys are doing there?
Yeah, contesting shots, Scott, was huge. That was one of the things that we've been emphasizing. We've been challenging our guys to make every shot a contested one. And I'm excited to look back at the film here to see what our contest percentage was. But, and we're a team that late last year was so we made so few mistakes. We made a lot today. I can tell you that on the defensive side, which as we move forward in our schedule, those things will get exposed. But again, it was great effort. We got on the floor, we got some loose balls. We held them to one shot. So we finished the possession with a rebound, and that was good to see.
Speaking one more real quick, Chicago State tomorrow, just what do they do well that you're going to have to try to counter?
I'll be honest, Scott, I have not watched a second of them. I'll catch a little bit of their game here. I'll dive into film tonight, and I know they're going to play really hard. Any team that Lance Irvin's a part of is going to play their tail off. I know they've got a good amount of guys back, but that's about it when it comes to actual execution.
Okay, Joey, you're up. Derek Piper on deck. Go ahead, Joey.
Hey, Brad. Adam said, maybe by this point in his career, we, or people who watch him, shouldn't be surprised at performances like this. Are you surprised to see him come out and shoot 10 of 12, 6 of 8 in his college debut?
Well, I think one of the things we see today is guys play high-level basketball against high-level players all the time. I thought he was the best scorer in this class. I thought he was a guy who could just get buckets and do it in a variety of ways. And today it was easy. It was simple because he just ran the floor. He took good shots. And the game was easy. It won't always be that easy for him, but when you're a gifted scorer and a gifted shot maker, which he is, and the one thing with Adam, he has an ability to make hard shots. And today he didn't have to make any of those. But again, it's a tribute to our guys. I mean, Trent Frazier gives the ball up to him for an uncontested layup, and that's what our program's about, is that unselfishness. And we all know Adam's a very good scorer. We see that every day in practice.
And then maybe a minute and a half after the horn at the end of the game, Kofi was running baseline to baseline with Fletch. What was behind that?
Well, I think the one thing that Kofi now understands is the conditioning piece. And, any game that he played 17 minutes and, that's not a lot of minutes for Kofi. He's doubled up in those type of minutes. So for him, it's just continued growth in terms of that area. And that's not me making him do that. That's all voluntary. That's Kofi wanting to make sure he's got improved stamina and improved conditioning, and he knows what really good players do in terms of work, and that's all to the maturation and growth of Kofi mentally. A year ago at this time, I can promise you it was like pulling teeth to get him to do that. Now he's volunteering and wants to become great, and conditioning is a big part of his game.
Thanks, Brad.
Hey, Derek Piper, you're up. Matt Stevens on deck. Go ahead, Derek.
Hey, Coach, DeMonte stuffs the stat sheet today. He's now made 11 of his last 23s going back to last year. I know you've always loved what he's brought to the table, but what's clicked for him? What's his evolution been offensively?
Well, Io works so hard that the one thing that you're never in shock of is success when it comes his way. It's the saying, good things happen to those who work hard. Well, I would assume he works really hard. And from the time our season ended, through all of his preparations for, what he thought might be an NBA run, he did a lot of work, and he spent a lot of time in a gym getting up a lot of shots. And he did that from what was the NBA line. So we've seen him light it up. He works every day. He's got his pregame routine, his routine before shoot around. That young man gets a lot of shots up, and he took good shots today. And you put that jump shot with his explosiveness and transition, and he becomes a pretty lethal player on that end.
All right, Coach, I know we got some music going in the background. I was actually asking about DeMonte and what he's bringing to the table offensively.
Sorry about that. I didn't hear that. But, well, again, another guy who's worked extremely hard. And, it's great to see DeMonte. My confidence has never wavered 1 second in DeMonte. And we see him make shots all the time in practice. And he's such a willing passer. And, he leads us in about every defensive he and Trent lead us about every defensive category every single day in practice. So it's nice to see him make shots. And again, he was the major reason we were playing as well as we were playing offensively at the end of last season, because he was making shots, and we see that every day. It's great to see that go in, and he'll continue to do that because he's really worked hard at it.
One more real quick. What caused you to dish the Andy Reid face shield to go for the mask?
Yeah, I've done both, and I really thought I would kind of I didn't have to talk a whole bunch in terms of to our guys and communicate today, and I like the shield when I do that, but sometimes the mask is more comfortable, and you'll see me in both. I tried in timeouts mostly to stay with the shield as guys are in close proximity, but you'll see me in both, Derek.
Thanks, Coach.
That was a really good answer for Io as well, even with DeMonte. Matt Stevens, you're up, and then Anthony on deck. Go ahead, Matt.
Kind of answered my IO question. So I'll just kind of ask you, Brad, about the defensive end of the floor. And if you thought this team would be at this level, on, November 25th, that's pretty rare to go 9 minutes without holding a team scoring no matter who it is. Are you surprised that they're at this level right now, or that they're at this tier right now defensively in the season opener?
Well, like I said, I was pleased with today. We'll see what tomorrow brings in terms of everybody's execution level on the offensive ends at different places. And again, I'm really pleased with the two areas we've really tried to emphasize, and that's contesting shots and then limiting teams to one shot. And if we can do that, we've proven in the past that we can be a really, really good defensive team. And, one of the things that we're striving to be is the best defensive team in the country. And that's not easy. That doesn't happen every single night. Sometimes guys make hard shots, and we've got to be able to have some grit and fight. And I was really pleased with that in the first half.
Thanks, Brad. I appreciate it. That's all I got.
Okay, Anthony, go ahead. We'll wrap this up with Anthony. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned yesterday one of the reasons you were really looking forward to see your team play a different jersey is maybe identifying some possible weaknesses. Obviously, big win on the scoreboard, but did you see anything in terms of weaknesses that stuck out to you or something you guys are going to be focusing on the next couple of days?
Yeah, I could answer that question better in a couple hours after I watch the film. We didn't have to get real dialed in execution wise on the offensive side. I always worry about that. I thought that we did have some plays where guys were in the wrong spots and kind of cut on top of somebody. We got to clean those things up from an execution side, and then defensively. I was there in the second half. There was a stretch where we had a couple late closeouts, gave them back-to-back threes, and you can't do that in Big Ten play, and those were mistakes. And Demonte and Io blew a switch that two veteran guys should never make, and make that mistake. So, those are the subtle things that we've got to clean up, and we'll bring that to our guys' attention. When we meet in the morning again, and see if we can be better tomorrow.
Thanks, Coach.
We got one more question from Jeremy. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hey, Brad, I just want to follow up. I know you're so focused on your job when you get in here, but there's so many thousands of people who would like to have been here today. What was that experience like for you this first time? I know you're excited to play, but it just wasn't the same, and there are a lot of different things. What was that like?
It's really funny because I never come out before games, and I came out about 70 minutes before the game, and I had to just look at it, and I didn't want to be surprised or shocked when I walked out right before the game, because me, I love letting the Orange Crush have it and getting them going and waving to them and dapping up the scorers table. And man, that's such a thrill, and it's so exciting, and it's you just get that juice going. And then at the end of the game, Io and Trent were down there talking, and I said, how'd it feel? And Io goes, I didn't notice any difference. I just saw a different colored uniform. And Trent said the same thing. So, you get, the players get so into that moment that they, they're just kind of in the moment. Everything around them becomes kind of quiet. I miss it. I'm used to 15,000 screaming and it being loud. I love everything loud. So it's different, but it's we got, especially when you got the best fan base in the country. So, I hope sooner than later we're back in that position where every seat's filled. And in the meantime, we'll have to grow accustomed to, what is now our new norm, I guess.
Do you wait to come out because of the fans, or why do you usually do that?
All right, that'll wrap up our press conference today. Appreciate it, Coach. I know the game.